wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Welcome to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. This is Steve coming to you from Conway, Arkansas. This week we are going to hear from the Enchiridion, actually from a couple of chapters. We're going to do 34, 35, and 36 today. All of them are kind of short, so I thought I'd cram three together. We're kind of moving from through introductory Stoicism in the early part of the Enchiridion into middle and advanced Stoic practices. If we kind of look at how this thing is laid out, the demands are getting stronger on us. We're thinking more deeply about the philosophy as we go. So this book, as you may recall, is an assemblage of kind of distillations of Epictetus' teaching put together by his student Arrian. And we're almost to, I think it goes to about number 52. We're getting pretty close to the end of the Enchiridion. But it's a great book to carry in your memory or carry around with you on your travels to give yourself little bits of inspiration, remind yourself of codes of conduct that you may wish to follow. And if you don't already know this, there are other translations, of course, more modern translations than the one I'm reading out of here, but also there is some cool paraphrased versions out there, and also Massimo Pigliucci kind of rewrote this book from a more secular perspective, a more modern perspective, but it's still an interesting read, and he goes through to carefully tell you what he changed and what he left alone and why. It's not just like he put it out there. So, lots of cool versions of this book out there. The version I'm reading is a public domain version. I've mentioned it before, and we'll put the link to it in the show description, as you can find a free PDF of it online. So, we're going to hear from three readings, kind of three different readings, different things to think about. But we're going to talk about self-control quite a bit today. Self-control, as well as courage, and then another one which is more of I guess you'd just call it a decorum thing, how to act among others. Maybe you could think of it as a form of justice. So 3 of the virtues today. We're going to hear about how do we combat pleasures that we may really want, but maybe we shouldn't take part in. We're going to hear about doing good even if it is seen by others to be wrong or they don't want you to do it. And also how we have to consider our hosts when we are being treated well by someone else. When we're at a party, let's say, we don't want to make fools of ourselves and take advantage of their kindness by stealing from them. So we'll hear from Epictetus and we'll talk more about those in just a moment. Chapter 34. When you imagine some pleasure, beware that it does not carry you away like other imaginations. Wait a while. Give yourself pause. Next, remember 2 things: how long you will enjoy the pleasure, and also how long you will afterwards repent and revile yourself. And set on the other side the joy and self-satisfaction you will feel if you refrain. And if the moment seems to come to realize it, take heed that you be not overcome by the winning sweetness and attraction of it. Set in the other scale the thought of how much better is the consciousness of having vanquished it. Chapter 35. When you do a thing because you have determined it ought to be done, never avoid being seen doing it, even if the opinion of the multitude is going to condemn you. For if your action is wrong, then avoid doing it altogether. But if it is right, why do you fear those who will rebuke you wrongly? Chapter 36. The phrases, "it is day" and "it is night" mean a great deal if taken separately, but have no meaning if combined. In the same way, to choose the larger portion at a banquet may be worthwhile for your body, but if you want to maintain social decencies, it is worthless. Therefore, when you are at meat with another, remember not only to consider the value of what is set before you for the body, but also to maintain your self-respect before your host. In the first reading, we are warned against pleasures. How many times have you sought something, craved something, wanted something, an object, only to work and work and work and then finally get it? And then a few weeks later, it's on the shelf. It's forgotten. It's in the garage. He warns us, we predict far more pleasure out of objects than we actually get from them. So he says, remember, how long will you actually enjoy the pleasure if you get it? And also, if you do get it, how likely are you to repent afterwards? Like, why did I do that? Why did I have that affair? Why did I get so far in debt for this stupid car? Are you really going to be happy with this choice in a week, a month, a year? And then also, how much satisfaction will you have if you avoid chasing after it? If you say, you know what, no, I will vanquish this passion. It will not get the best of me, and I will stand as the conqueror on top of it and say, no, I will not. I will not go down this road. In the next reading, he says, if there's something that should be done, don't avoid being seen doing it. If someone in your town's being oppressed and you want to help them, do it in the open. Stand for them. Be there for them. If you need to do some kind of good that others around you think is wrong. I mean, I see this all the time here in the American South. There's lots of people who, in one part of the country, something is seen as great and wholesome and good. And down here, you do that and you are seen as a horrible person. Like, just for example, the local library did a reading, like 2 dads and some kids, or I don't know what the story was. I honestly don't. It doesn't matter. But they read that for as part of celebrating Pride Month, and now a lot of the local religious folks are throwing a fit, trying to get some of the librarians fired and everything else here in Arkansas, here in my town, in Conway, Arkansas. So if you want to, if you say, okay, this is wrong, I'm going to stand up against it, don't do it secretly. Do it out in the open. Who cares what people think of you if you are doing the right thing? The important thing is doing the right thing, is what he's saying here. Don't hide being right. And lastly, it is day, it is night means a great deal if taken separately. This goes back to kind of a logical problem. It is day means something. It is night means something. But you cannot say it is day, it is night. It means nothing if combined, he says. And in the same way, he says, if you go to a friend's house and you're having dinner with them, don't pig out and eat more than your share and leave your friends hungry. You can. It's right there in front of you. But it's kind of like saying it is day, it is night. You cannot pig out and have a good friend anymore. This good friend invited you over. If you pig out and try to have a good friend at the same time, it's not going to work out. You've lost the friend. You've lost their trust. But go over there and act with decorum. Maintain your self-respect. Be generous, be polite, and you will be able to have a little bit to eat and maintain your friendship. I think we could apply that to more things than a party and eating, of course. Don't take advantage of people. If they offer you something and you need it, only take what you need. Don't take advantage of people, or they will not be there for you again in the future. All right, thanks for swinging by the Sunday Stoic this week. I'm probably on vacation when this is airing, escaping the hot southern parts of the continent and am hanging out in Michigan for a bit, enjoying the cool air. So I hope I am having a great time. Fate permitting, that's what I'm doing. But until then, till I see you again, seize the day and review the show on iTunes if you wish. Check me out on patreon.com. Share the show with a friend. get a coin from Etsy, or just send me an email and say, hey, thanks. I appreciate all of that. I love hearing from y'all. So have a great week. Seize the day again. And Carpe Diem.